White opens with, "Show me how those fart," asking for requests so unhinged that even the title of this video does not do it any justice. I think it's obvious that this is a blunder, and this is the type of player you most definitely should not take any inspiration from. Black hits back with, "Hi, I know it's been 2 years, but this message keeps me up at night. What does it mean?" And this would be a normal response if it didn't take them an entire 2 years to play. White's probably a changed man now, and Black has just reminded them of their shameless past self and a horrible inaccuracy. It's games like this that make me think text chess should adopt the chess clock. Anyway, it seems like White got a new phone or something because they never responded, although I wouldn't be surprised if this game took a shocking turn in 2 years.
Next, White asks, "Wanna watch hentai together?" And watching that garbage alone is bad enough, but group sessions? Are we being serious? Players like this make me lose faith in humanity, and hopefully, Black has a bit of self-respect for themselves and attacks this miss. Unfortunately, the ideal response doesn't come into play, and Black casually replies, "Yeah, you called," as if this shit is some type of regular occurrence for this duo. I wouldn't be surprised if these guys had an entire tier list of hentais they've watched together, so if you're looking to get started, you know exactly who to go to, I guess. Anyway, I can't grade this higher than a mistake. What scares me more though is that this call lasted a whole 14 hours. I don't even have normal calls that last this long, but a hentai call is on a whole different level. These are absolute menaces to society. Next, I have a mommy kid. White kicks off things with a diabolical statement, and I don't think this channel has ever had such a devious roster of players start a video before. I mean, in principle, this is a book move, but it's so unhinged that it jumps straight into being a mistake. Just a bit of advice from yours truly. If you're admitting to something like this, it's definitely more ideal to say it in real life to avoid being screenshotted. Not that it's ever ideal, obviously. I'd never be into that. Never. Black reads this as more of a request than the confession. So they ask, "So I'm supposed to act like your mom?" Questioning the situation in a good move, but it's not getting any higher than that because they low-key sound down for it. As a whole, this cautious play develops a piece into play, but also leaves some space for the opponent to attack. White takes the opportunity to penetrate the space, so responds with, "Yes." And this fella is definitely an eager beaver, jumping to the conclusion that Black would be happy to fulfill their desires. As much as I want to shit on this weird ass player, in the context of the game, they're getting what they want. So in the sense of winning the game, it's actually an excellent move. I hate to say it, but White is genuinely winning here. Or are they? Black pushes back with, "Why are all these damn dishes in the sink?" Literally acting like Black's mom instead of giving into whatever stuff they wanted to. And it's nothing short of a brilliant move. Black gave their opponent every ounce of hope possible, just to rip it out of their hands in the very last minute, which is a huge power play, putting them in a strong position to go and win the game. White clearly isn't happy though, and chooses not to entertain the joke, so simply sends a straight face emoji. You and I both know that bro thinks this is an absolute power move, but it isn't reducing the embarrassment whatsoever and results in their eventual checkmate. Maybe the next opponent will give them a shot, but Black definitely wasn't the queen for him.
Next, in this next game, White takes the role of a religious preacher and plays "Just come to church with me, it'll save you," making a perfectly reasonable request to start a game in my Unhinged request video. This shit does not make any sense, and I'm slamming at whoever submitted this image if it doesn't have something unhinged about it. For now, I'll slap down a book move. Black then shows me exactly why this screenshot is in the video by saying, "Yeah, sure, but only if you walk me in on a leash and you have to hold it the whole service, or I'm gonna vape in the bathroom." Asterisk on a... This request from Black is the most pinnacle of unhinged, and it's probably the most unchurchly thing you can probably ask. I mean, people can be into whatever the they want, but for the love of God, literally, keep that out of the church. Blunder for sure. Like any normal person would, White states, "I don't want you to come anymore," snatching the invite right out of Black's hands while using the best move on the board. If anything warrants the withdrawal of an invitation, asking to be walked to church on a leash is one of them, and now White has a clear and obvious route to checkmate. In one last attempt to turn the game around, Black pushes back with, "Wow, uninviting me to church. God saw that," trying to gaslight their opponent into believing that they were into the wrong like an absolute dumbass because no one, yes, no one is falling for that. The game was pretty much over from the second move, but this mistake just seals Black's fate as an ELO loser.
Next, so this might be random, but would you be willing to send a pic to be part of a game called Match Pic to the Face to be played at Cassidy's bachelorette? I am collecting pics of dicks and then pics of the faces that match the dick. You can deny my request, totally understandable, but I personally think this is gonna be hilarious. There are a few problems with this opener from White, but I'm going to start with the most standout one. Why on earth is this game taking place without me? Like, come on. If you're going to host such a promising game, the absolute least I deserve is an invitation. For this reason and nothing else, this has to be an outrageous move, which goes to show you all that all you have to do is be inclusive. Next, White states, "Dude, I got a B so bad." And I'm going to assume that they meant P, but come on, I don't like spelling inaccuracies. Other than the 0.3 GPA spelling, this mistake is just a bit weird as a whole and isn't really something you go around texting people, at least in most contexts. For now, I feel bad for White, But this is about to change as Black hits back with "use my mouth as a toilet," making a request so cooked that I don't even know what to say. Like what? I understand the concept of niche interest, but I think being turned on by piss is a genuine sign of being a psychopath, rather than something that can be brushed off as an "it happens" kind of desire. You couldn't pay me to do that, so I can't imagine making a request like it's a normal occurrence. Blunder. WJAT is White's response, and they're really not keeping their track record high for spelling. Part of me wants to see this dumbass compete in a spelling bee, because there ain't no way his few final brain cells are coming out of there alive. For real though, this forced move defends against Black's attack by blocking the attacked file, but continued pressure is more than likely to follow. Black replies, "now," turning this from a request into a literal demand. I can picture Black with a gun pointing directly in White's face, and that's not a nice feeling, trust me, I know. All I'm saying is that if Text Chess offers you to be on the channel, don't sign the contract for your own good. Based on my current trauma, I'm going to have to give this a blunder because it sent me down a dark spiral. Help.
Alright, and that's enough of you for this video. In the next game, White plays "I need to crack a femboy right now" drooling emoji. He'll be bouncing on it for so long that I'll be hallucinating slapping noises, going way too deep into the details, and I low-key might just rip my eyes out after reading that. I'm also sorry that you had to see it too, but hopefully you guys don't make up too much of a controversy around it. Next thing I know, every commentary YouTuber on the platform will have a video on me. Anyways, back to analyzing this piece of garbage. My guy needs to keep that shit in the bedroom and stop writing fanfictions about themselves. It really is not a good look and just instantly checkmates yourself.
Next, White asks, "Can I tell you something if you don't think it's weird?" Which makes absolutely no sense because Black isn't going to know if it's weird or not yet, which makes this a mistake. In chess terms, they've left their defense completely open for attack, and Black would have to be blind to not capitalize on this. Shockingly, Black might actually be blind though, because they hit back with "I guess," inviting White to make whatever f***ed up play they want, and it wouldn't surprise me if Black happily takes it like a good boy based on this response. You have to be more dominating in text chess, because submissive players never win. Trust me, I know. Mistake. "I like having my balls kicked" is White's weird ass statement, and I can't tell whether it really is just a statement or something that goes much deeper. A lot of people who make confessions like this are doing it in the form of a request, so I'm just gonna assume this is the case here, in which it is a stinking blunder. Now, I don't know how many ladies are watching this video, but trust me, getting kicked in the balls hurts. So why would you like it? The only real benefit is that I'm sure any woman would do it if you asked, so there's at least one win for White, I guess. But wait, the Orlos isn't even finished, as they self-respond to themselves with "did you see my message?" pointing out that they got ignored, and a double texting in a back-to-back blunder. This dude might be up there with the worst text chess players I've ever seen, but it's definitely close with some other contenders. Next, "peg me," whimpering emoji, exclamation marks emoji, is White's one-liner of choice, and it's definitely more on the unique side of openings. Not only are they asking to partake in such a devious activity, but they're also begging for it with that emoji combination, which makes it a new low and another blunder for a player in this video. It genuinely seems like the roster loses more and more elo each video. Fortunately though, White has a slight redemption arc because they follow up with "forgive me, I was fighting some demons when I sent that," which is probably some dumbass metaphor for being drunk as hell. Clearly I'm the dumbass though, because my theory is instantly disproven when White plays "offer still open, but I'm sorry for coming at you like that," revealing that their sober self is just as weird. It goes to show that drunk words are sober thoughts, and that text chess can be poetic. Next, White asks, "Hey bro, what are you doing tonight?" which would be your average question if it wasn't sent at 3 o'clock in the goddamn morning. It just makes White look socially illiterate, because Black's obviously not going to be doing anything at this hour, and it's a miss for not taking in the time context. As expected, Black responds with "F*** all, how about you?" answering with a predictable statement, but also asking the same question back under different circumstances. The reason this is a book move and not a miss like White's is that White's move has insinuated that they are doing something, so it actually makes sense for Black to ask. Unlike White, who just awkwardly threw whatever question came to mind into play. "Having a party tonight, you down?" is White's response, who makes a request that seems a little bit too normal to be appearing on a video titled Unhinged Requests. Surely there has to be some sort of twist coming, but for now, it's a standard good move. All it does is let down their defenses a bit, and invite Black for a more civil resolution to the game. Black accepts the offer and replies, "Hell yeah bro, I'm down," before asking what time. And there's something about that "hell yeah" that makes Black a really likable player. This dude is down to earth and doesn't mess around, so I might low-key rig this game in their favor. All jokes aside, because I'm clearly not a corrupt analyzer, this great move advances the game further and gets us closer to the desired tie, where they both just have fun at a function and get laid maybe. Next, White gives the information for the party, which is 11 PM bro, and there's gonna be a whole lot of fighting and a lot of fuck. laughing emoji, okay emoji. Here, white plays a good move on the road to a peace deal, because what sort of guy doesn't want to attend a party where there's fighting and fucking going on simultaneously? It honestly just makes me jealous that I'm not a participant in this game, and if I'm not invited next time, rest assured that white will not see the face of the earth again. Anyway, moving on from that real threat, black responds, LMAO, can't wait bro, laughing emoji. You know who all gonna be there? Which is the question that everyone needs to ask before pulling up to a function. The absolute last thing you want is to pull up and the whole house is just plastered with your ops. So it's most definitely an excellent and recommended move from black. Do try this at home, kids. But then white says something that changes everything entirely. No one, bro, just me and you, revealing that this entire game has been set up for these two to get rowdy together. What makes this a brilliant move is that white has already made black confirm their availability, so there is no bullshit excuses, either yes or no, absolutely nothing in between. Weirdly though, black doesn't understand and sends a singular question mark, which is honestly the biggest miss of my lifetime. I get they might not be down for this type of fun, but come on, this is the type of shit most people should understand. Next, just like the last game, this one opens with a question as white asks, do you have a girlfriend? And there's nothing wrong with getting the green light before making any romantic moves. The last thing you want is someone's boyfriend threatening to curb stomp you the day after raising up a girl, so this is a good move because it tries to prevent this disaster from happening. Sadly though, black replies, yep, which breaks white's heart, but that's definitely the better option than cheating. There is no better move on the board right now, making this the best move, and any more words would have just been too much really. But this is where the weird as request spawns in, because for some reason, white decides to hit back with, bring her my place, we would do it, which is firstly unrealistic, because what couple is going to want to invite some random chick to join them in bed? Like bro is not on the team. And secondly, this isn't just the sort of thing you ask a random person in the first place. Take them out to dinner first, Jesus. For those two reasons, I would be doing something illegal to not call this a blunder. WTF bro is black's response, who is the voice of the people here, because both you and me, yes you, are thinking the exact same thing. There was genuinely no other choice here. So it's a forced move that blocks the attack and lets the opponent know that what they said was far from normal. Just like their next move, which is, don't worry, I won't touch your girl. And it's so contradictory, which instantly makes it an inaccuracy. How on earth are you doing a 3 if not all parties are going to interact with you? White is making no sense here, and I think that's a good note to end the video on. But don't worry, there are plenty more games in the playlist on screen now, so watch it. I am not asking.